At 8:01 on a quiet winter morning, a wall of black water came down a West Virginia hollow, and no one heard it coming. Buffalo Creek slept beneath a pale February sky. Children were getting dressed for school, coffee steamed on kitchen tables. Above the narrow valley, hidden in the fog and trees, a coal slurry dam, one of three stacked like a careless promise, had begun to fail. No sirens, no warning, just pressure, weight, and a long-ignored crack giving way. The dam didn't burst with a sound. It collapsed. What followed wasn't water as people knew it. It was sludge, thick, heavy, black with coal waste, moving faster than a person could run. In seconds it tore through the first camp. Homes lifted, spun and shattered. Roads vanished. The creek became a weapon, aimed straight down the valley. People woke to darkness where daylight should have been. Some ran barefoot through freezing mud. Others climbed onto rooftops that were already drifting away. A mother smashed a window to pull her children outside. A man tried to outrun the flood and realized too late it was gaining on him. Midway down the hollow, a terrible hope flickered. Maybe the worst had already passed, but the second dam failed. Then the third. Each collapse fed the next, amplifying the surge until the valley became a roaring chute of destruction. Entire communities were erased in minutes. By the time the flood reached the mouth of Buffalo Creek, 125 people were dead. Over 1,000 were injured. More than 4,000 were suddenly homeless, standing in shock where their lives had been. What remained looked less like a town than a battlefield. Mud-choked trees, crushed cars, fragments of photographs pressed into the earth. And then came the question that changed everything. The dams had been known to be unsafe. Warnings had been written. Inspections had been skipped. The flood was not an act of nature, it was an act of neglect. Survivors spoke of a deeper loss than homes or possessions. They spoke of trust, of realizing that the structures meant to contain danger had been built cheaply, watched poorly, and forgotten entirely, until they failed. Buffalo Creek became a reckoning. Lawsuits followed. Regulations changed. The disaster forced the nation to confront a brutal truth. When profit outweighs responsibility, the cost is paid in human lives. Today the creek runs quietly again. Grass grows where houses once stood. But for those who lived through it, the sound of rushing water still carries a warning. Because Buffalo Creek wasn't just a flood, it was a reminder that disasters don't always arrive with thunder. Sometimes they arrive because no one was listening. If this story moved you, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support helps keep these stories alive and helps this channel grow.